Okay, all right, we're ready. We're ready for this one. Okay, so I'm really bugged about this election coming up. 2020 election seems like everything possible that is conspiring together wants to just drive us all insane. Absolutely, totally insane. And everything around this is just screwed. Screwed from this angle, screwed from that angle. I hate all of it. It's just awful. In any which way I look at it, I do not at all like the future and the possibilities that are coming. In fact, I detest them. Everything looks like things are going to get very much interesting times. Yeah, big time interesting times. And I am prepping like mad. I'm also working like mad. I've been at the office doing all this crazy stuff related to COVID and getting all this stuff set up and working like a dog trying to get this all running just to deal with everything. But let's share the election piece, because that's the title of this video. That's what we're going to go on. And here's the piece, one of the scenarios. One of the scenarios I see for total election chaos for 2020. Depends on a couple interesting points. One, the bump stock ban. And yes, I am still significantly, immensely mad at Trump for the bump stock ban. That is the biggest screw job around. Now why? Oh, it's a bump stock. It's just some little thing out there. It's a toy. Who the heck cares about that, Reed? Who cares? Well, yeah, I don't even own one. I didn't even care for one. I wasn't really interested in that. Not my thing. But, this is the big problem. When he said, we're just going to do this by executive order, that opened the door. You hear that crack of, the coffin opening and the deep crypt and the evil just escaping and leaking out. Yes, because it sets a horrible, hideous precedent. It's immense power to the executive that it never, ever possessed, never should possess, and cannot possess. We were supposed to have checks and balances. Things split up for a reason. There, the executive is supposed to execute the laws made for and debated on and passed by Congress, and then they're supposed to implement it. And not favoritismly, all laws. We're supposed to have everything enforced, right? And that's why we got so much bull on the books, because there's a bunch of crap that is on the books that never gets enforced, except selectively when they need it. And that has got to go too. But let's get back to the point. Let's not go too far off on that rant. The thing is, by the bump stock ban and all that, it opened a massive power to regulate and executively control the Second Amendment by executive power, by decree, by the will of the king or the whim of the queen. Take your pick. Horrible, hideous precedent. And so it's one little thing that he did, but it's huge, huge. So then we have Harris-Biden ticket. Amazing, right? Picks Kamala Harris. So we have the Harris-Biden ticket. And yes, I'm saying it that way for a reason, okay? Now, what did she say in the debates? I'm just going to do this by executive order, and we're going to get those weapons we don't like. We're going to take them. Joe Biden himself comes out and says, but that would be unconstitutional. And I'll try to dig up the clip real quick, and we'll switch to it.
Thank you. I think your idea is a great one, Congressman Swalwell, and I will say that there are a lot of great ideas. The problem is Congress has not had the courage to act, which is why when elected President of the United States, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to pull their act together, bring all these good ideas together, and put a bill on my desk for signature. And if they do not, I will take executive action.
Talked about executive orders. Senator Harris, you have said that you would take executive action on guns within your first 100 days, including banning imports of AR-15 assault weapons.
That's right.
President Obama, after Sandy Hook, more than 23 executive actions, and yet here we all are today. In recent days, former Vice President Biden has said about executive orders, some really talented people are seeking the nomination. They said, I'm going to issue an executive order. Biden saying there's no constitutional authority to issue that executive order when they say I'm going to eliminate assault weapons, saying you can't do it by executive order any more than Trump can do things when he says he can do it by executive order. Does the vice president have a point there?
Some things you can, many things you can't.
Let's let the senator answer.
Well, I would just say, hey, Joe, instead of saying, no, we can't, let's say, yes, we can.
Let's be constitutional. We got a constitution.
And yes, we can, because I'll tell you something.
And if I found the clip, we're now back from it. So yeah, Joe Biden even says that's unconstitutional. And what does Kamala Harris say? Joe. Let's not say that. Let's say, yes, we can. Oh yeah, it's now moved to the let's not worry about if this is legal. Let's not worry about, am I abusing the powers given to me, entrusted to thy people? It's, no, I'm going to do it. And until someone stops me, I'm going to keep going. That's a huge, massive, unbelievable disaster. And it shows by opening up the crack, by taking more and more executive actions we're seeing. Bush, Obama, Trump. I mean, you can go back huge lines. I mean, that's just the quickest names. But they've all done it. Executive actions beyond the scope of their powers. Then look at all the stuff we've seen all of our governors do. Way beyond the scope of their powers. Way beyond anything they were ever allowed to do. And they're doing it. It's a huge, huge issue. Now, here's the thing. We have all these power-hungry people. And there's power grabs everywhere. We're seeing power grabs left and right. Oh, give me some power. Give me some power. I want the power. It's coming everywhere. Hard and fast. Right? So, election night. Stuff's coming in. And whichever way it happens, we see votes come in by, in-person voting, votes by mail, whatever it is. And we end up with a really close election, right? And what it is let's say we get the Electoral College going one way, popular vote going another. And let's just for the sake of it say it's the same way. Electoral College for Trump, popular vote says something else. And we have a bunch of governors say, you know what? We're not going to do this. And since the Supreme Court has said that we can control our electors, that they cannot disavow state law, and we have all this emergency powers granted to us, we're going to say, you know what, electors? You're voting for the popular vote. I don't care what our state did. You're voting the popular way. Wow. Now we got a conundrum. Instant thing, right? Comes up. And we got another factor. How many people have faith in the election? I sure don't. I've always complained about this stuff. I don't get a receipt. I don't get a way to audit this. No one but an election official can look at those ballots. There ain't anything for us to look at. We can't audit this thing. We can't look at it. We can't dissect it. We can't see how it's counted. We can't dig into it. For us, we just have to trust on faith. Well, everything they've been saying, Russia took this. It's all Russia. China's doing this. Oh, Trump's going to steal this. Oh, this. Or we got election fraud by mail. We got everything. They've destroyed faith in the election. You talk to anyone, they got major issues with a lot of the election process. Tons of people got doubts. You end up with something like this, where you say, hey, the electoral is supposed to go this way, and then governors step in and say, no. We want to do a popular vote. Ours are going that way. You're going to see a real quick hard line. Splits. You're going to see people calling out saying, hey, that ain't right. And then see all faith that was around there, all the stuff built for peaceful transfer of power, gone, tossed to the side, just out. People are going to be absolutely livid. And, usually conservatives or they say on the right, people, they're law-abiding people. They go to work. They got stuff. They got all this stuff to lose. Guess what? Tons of people are home from the pandemic. Tons of people they don't got much else left to lose. And they're seeing this stuff going on. Yeah, a lot of people on the other side are going to get out there and be very upset. A lot of people we see already, the riots in Portland, the riots in Seattle, the riots everywhere, the peaceful protests, violence on that scale. We can have other violent groups. You're going to see skirmishes develop. And then you're going to see calls for, we want hardliners. And then you're going to see other people calls on the other side saying, we want other hardliners. Then you're going to see people say, we consider this blah, 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 illegitimate. This election is illegitimate. This president is illegitimate. This is illegitimate. And all of a sudden, you see these lines develop. Starts bifurcating the country. Starts splitting things up. You see lines develop in neighborhoods. People arguing on streets. People saying, don't you dare come over here or we're going to get violent. You're going to see escalations, massive things. Then, unfortunately, I really think there's a good chance, people are going to be reaching for the ammo can. And it's going to get ugly. Uglier than you could ever imagine. And then, fortunately, this isn't, lines drawn across state boundaries. This is lines down neighborhoods. This is lines where between people are going to be like, you know what? You were out there. You had that sign. I saw you marching with that. Get out. I ain't leaving. And people are going to set fires, burn people down, chase people out. And it's going to get ugly. Uglier than you can imagine. And unfortunately, this is what I'm seeing. And I hope like hell I am wrong. I just hope I am completely and utterly wrong. But the polarization is so immensely bad because you got one side already immensely upset at the current administration. They aren't willing to take it. They can't stand it. They're getting angrier and angrier. You got another side saying, yeah, we ain't going to take this executive action. We ain't going to allow that. We are going to fight back. And you're going to see things just torn apart. Everything ripped asunder. This side and that side. All right. So if that's coming, let's hope I'm wrong. Everyone out there, I hope I am wrong. But let's say I'm not. Let's say this one scenario, and this is one of the scenarios. I got several others. And yeah, I'm going to cover them. I'm going to cover all the other scenarios I'm deeply concerned with, including war, nuclear war, all sorts of crud. Just seems like everything wants to pile on and just go crazy for this year and next year. I mean, it's nuts. Utterly and completely insane. But, we want to be prepared. We're preparedness people and all that stuff. What do? You're looking at this, you're seeing things develop like this, you're seeing chaos coming, you're seeing it come from that side, this side, up, down, east, west, north, whatever. Everywhere it's developing. What do we do? Well, stocking up on food supplies, having things like that, essentials on, that's a big plus. Real good. If you don't have anything like that, get started. Highly recommend you go visit Steve at Corsair Trainers and learn about that. Really good. Get started growing stuff, putting stuff in the ground, learn how to make your own food. Really helpful and important. All sorts of good, important things to do with that. And I got 2 great links for you. One is Liberty Garden. He knows a lot about handle all sorts of growing stuff. He's in a more southern climate over in Texas. Guy knows his stuff. If you're in a climate like that, go check him out. He really's got it going. Real good guy. Another person I want you to go check out, though, if you're in a more northern area like that, Old School Prepper. She knows about growing stuff, putting stuff away, saving, getting ready, having things be more self-sufficient. Real good person on that. So if you're more northern, and gardening is very regionally specific, all right? So like that. Now, if you're in other locations, want to learn how to make, salves, want to know more about other cooking things and stuff like that, got another guy you got to check out. Paulo Metal Prepared. Go check him out. Okay, yes, now that I've plugged everyone, what am I doing? Reed, what are you doing? Well, I'm building more independence, more solar power. Got to do a lot of that. We're going to just dump solar videos like crazy. I got tons of stuff I got to do. We're going to be dumping videos like crazy, as long as I can get around work, but I'm going to try as best I can. While I'm doing something, set the camera up. While I'm doing something, set the camera up. But it's more than that. We need allies. We need people that think that they want to be left alone. People that want to live and let live, and people want to see law and order and preservation that aren't going to stand for this lawlessness going on either administration side. We had it. We don't like this crap. And so we need to network, build groups, get people together, get everyone working together. Because we need, when it all comes apart, we don't want a neighborhood splitting out. We want a place we can call together, come together and say, you know what? We ain't having this here. We are going to keep ourselves safe. We're going to keep each other safe, take care of each other, and we are going to defend. We're going to keep the chaos pushed out. Hard times are probably coming. It's probably going to be real dark. Highly concerned. So if you all have been sitting around enjoying all the prepping videos and all that stuff and find it great entertainment, but you haven't done anything, you need to get moving. Time is getting short. And honestly, I think it's getting horrifically short. So take care, everyone. This is Reed, out for just now. But I'll be back. See ya.